Yo, it's Mac from the Everyday Nobody's podcast. I know you see the title, so let's get straight to it. Queenzflip is a pussy. I just watched him go off on Danny from the stop, and I've been seeing him do this for years, and now I'm just like, okay, you pussy. See, Danny is a reaction channel, and the majority of his content is about the Joe Budden podcast. At one point, they really liked Danny because he would do breakdowns of the pod, and he would read body language, and he would kind of put things together, and he was pretty accurate. But the moment he started critiquing them, they wasn't messing with Danny at all. And I'm not even mad at that, because if a person made a whole living off of watching my content and then criticizing my skills, I'm not going to be excited about him either. For a long time, they just said, hey, we're not going to say his name on the podcast no more, no free promo. And I understand that. Every once in a while, somebody from the cast would get on Spaces with him and they would curse him smooth out. And I get that too. I understand that Danny's not an angel. Like, I'm not going to act like I don't understand why there's outrage towards him. A lot of athletes hate Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless too. But I have never heard a story of Skip or Stephen A. getting beat up while they're at their job for doing their job. See, where I draw the line is where Queenzflip gets to threatening Danny when he's the most disrespectful person on the podcast.
Talk about sounds silly. We gonna fix you, I promise you gonna be on camera tonight. Suck my Tell me all that shit when you see me today. You talking about I'm on that.
It's one thing if it's just words, but he's talking about taking it way further than it has to go. See, this is the same guy who says, suck my dick to everybody and fuck your mother and all this shit. But then he gets upset when Danny says, I think you're a little immature. I think you have a shtick that is getting old. And I think you're a The guy screaming, suck my dick cannot get upset when somebody says, yeah, I think you're retarded. Like, it just don't equate to me. Not mad enough to go fight him. Flip over here talking about I'm 7 for 7 when it comes to slapping bloggers. Flip even took it to the extent of saying, yeah, I had people scoping out Danny's job, and, you know, I had people at the studio that he records at, and I was trying to get them to let me backdoor him. It was just too much for me at least. And I think that's pussy. You chose to be a public figure, so this is what comes with it. And my real issue isn't even just that, it's the hypocrisy. See, Queenzflip, he's loud, he's disrespectful, and he's always inviting somebody to the Frank stand. But he definitely picks and chooses when he wants to be tough. See, when it's Danny from the stop, he want to be super tough. But when it's Esso from backfield, he ain't have that same energy. When it's Cameron kicking his back end, he ain't have that same energy. When it's Mark Lamont Hill pressing him, he ain't have that same energy. But when it's Danny from the stop, a guy who tells you he don't want no problems, he just making his content, Flip turns into Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't like that. Y'all remember when Esso spazzed on Flip when he called his influencer event a skit convention?
You do nothing bad when you show alliances and pick sides. When you pick a side, my saying is pick the right one.
Yeah, of course.
When you pick a side, pick the right one.
No,
okay, I mean, and that's all I'm saying. I know Jim Jones is my man, and that's his man, right? Mm-hmm. If you have a problem with coming to the event because I'm there because you're a math fan, don't come. It wouldn't have been no different if Queenzflip wasn't there.
What's going on?
We wouldn't have. I don't know, bro. Yo, listen. We wouldn't have lost if he wasn't there. And I'm gonna say this, motherfucker.
Wait a minute.
Because if your boss that you work for can be on my show and respect what the I do, so can you, my man. This is what the I'm saying.
Shout out to Joe Budden.
I'm not sitting here taking no lower level because a nigga's on another show. You must be out of your mind. Like, everything I do, I built myself. I built all of this from bag fuel to my own career. So I'm not gonna be me by a nigga who's not putting on what I'm putting on, who's not putting in what I'm putting in, and then call my skit convention.
Let's talk about it. Flip showed up to the event. It was hosted by Bag Fuel and Jim Jones. Then Flip will go on the podcast and he'd give a recap of what happened. Here's the funny thing. It wasn't even Flip that called it a skit convention. That was Joe. Flip was actually innocent. Esso, he didn't realize that was Joe that said that. And even if he did, like, Joe's his man, so he wouldn't have tripped like that. But he felt like Flip had motive to disrespect his event because Flip is cool with math. They had that breakup. Y'all know how that go. I did a whole story about it with the Angela Yee thing when they almost clashed in there. But anyway, Esso didn't know that was Joe that said that. You know what Flip said? We'll speak behind closed doors. I'll get on the phone with Ghostface. We'll get it hashed out like men. Never did Flip say Esso could suck my d. Never did he say I'm going to spit on Esso when I see him. Never did he say I'm going to slap Esso. That boy turned into Barack Obama when it came to Esso.
Touched. So that's just what happened. But at the end of the day, you know, I heard when said, you know, we're gonna take care of it behind the scenes. I'm definitely excited to see where this goes as men. You know what I mean? And we got to stand on what we say. And that's where I leave it. I have nothing bad to say after that.
On another episode, Joe damn near had to force him out to actually defend himself. I think it was called Bleepless Pod. That was the name of the episode. But Joe had some words for Young Miami. And the whole podcast, Queenzflip is instigating like, go, Joe, go get her, go get her. But then when Joe finally crashes out on Young Miami, he asks, hey, is there anyone else in the room that want to speak? Anyone else that got dissed in the media? Or is it just me? He had to force Flip to speak on the situation, even though Flip loved to instigate.
All right, that's all I got. Am I the only one up here that the internet has had something to say about this week?
No. No, you're not. No.
All right, then moving on then.
You trying to treat me like male? Like you trying to call me out?
I'm saying that
Joe
Budden is done.
Call me to the carpet.
Is there anyone else here that the internet has had something to say about so they can respond or get their shit off on our platform in front of millions of people watching, some of whom enjoy a really good mess? And if that's only me that's willing to take it to the top on our Bleepless episode, then I'll carry everybody on my back and do that. Maybe I have a cast that don't get shaken outside, so nobody says nothing bad about y'all. Maybe nobody says nothing bad about y'all.
I think I addressed.
Maybe everybody just talks great about y'all.
I think I addressed any issue. I think I addressed any issue I had the last part.
Oh, not true. I think you did too.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I addressed it.
If there was a way to address something.
Yo, Joe Name.
If there was a big way to address something, I think you did.
Manipulator. It's time for manipulator. You can't manipulate me, yeah.
It's time for manipulator. It's time for manipulator.
Hey, yo, no, but you know, let me say something real quick.
And that's what I mean when I say he's super hard body when it comes to Danny from the stop. And he folds like fresh laundry when it comes to Esso. Y'all remember when Mark Lamont Hill threatened him on episode 777?
You listen to talk about me talking about conscience and money. You get real. That's all the trick. First, calm the down, move your feet.
It's your world.
Yeah, it ain't his world. Nigga, calm the down. Yeah. First, calm the down. Yeah, stop listening to
Yo, watch your head too.
We good. You ain't gonna turn up.
Yeah. Just please understand. It's not gonna go the way you think it is. But what I'm saying is,
He's from Philly.
I don't care.
There's pause buttons.
Wait.
That's a fact.
Let's talk about it. The cast is doing their weekly pocket watching segment, as usual. Mark made a statement about Flip's finances. See, if you know Flip, you know he's notorious for talking about how rich everybody else in the room is. But if you bring it to him, he diverts. He tries to skirt around it. He tries to act like he's broke. He always downplays it, right? So Mark, he watches the pod, and now he's on the pod. So he doesn't look at it like, oh, this is a rich guy trying to hide his wealth. He looks at it as this is a poor guy who doesn't want to talk about how much money he doesn't have. Flip got defensive. He got to yelling, talking about, no, you only think I'm broke because you was in spaces letting people kick my back, and it's only 2 people that think I'm broke. Mark had no clue what he was talking about. Then throughout all that yelling Flip was doing, Mark had to let him know, hey, lower your voice, because it ain't going to, I guarantee you it ain't going to go how you think it's going to go with me. Then Flip got even louder because he was pissed that Mark didn't back down from him. Then while Mark is hot, he's like, you know what? Now I think about it, since we talking about what's going on the internet, why you out here letting Shampoo speak bad on me? You got a guy who don't work here talking about your coworker that does work here, and we all under the Joe Budden umbrella. When was that okay?
Sipping my dirty chai.
But for the record, since we talking about spaces and Twitter and YouTube and all that shit. Yeah. Shout out to Parks, by the way. He the only one who handled it properly. You had that boy on your show. What's his name? Shampoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, right. Talking crazy about me.
We're gonna get to an hour before we talk to the topic.
I don't know, dude. I don't do that on people I don't know because I think that's corny. But you know, that's who he is. It seems like that's who he is. Seems like a loser. But But whoever he is, that's your man. So, you know, whatever. But people say shit, right? It's your platform. You can do whatever. I think it's weird to be on a JVP platform talking shit about JVP people. That's weird to me. Yeah, Parks walked off. You did your thing. Then you tweeted it the next day.
I did.
What the you do that for?
I called you though before that.
And then Flip tried to do that stupid shit that he does where he was like, well, I don't care if it don't make sense. He started yelling, getting loud, and Mark just was like, well, it is what it is. You knew you was wrong, and you know you wrong, and everybody else know you wrong. So you can keep playing stupid, but nobody else is. It got so bad that they had to cut them cameras off. They had to take an intermission. When they came back, Flip is so pussy that he had the nerve to say, I'm disappointed in you, Mark. And Mark is like, why? He said, I'm disappointed in you because you're smarter than me. When I get aggressive, you're never supposed to stoop to my level. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, only Flip would say some dumb ass shit like that. But anyway, and then Mark had to let him know, I wasn't even trying to take it there, but you like to pump your chest out like you about to intimidate somebody, and you ain't the only one who could fight in here.
Mark turned into Ish.
Yeah, it's about the seat.
Maybe it's something you do to people in the seat.
Not true. I'm just, yo, you know,
look to the left of you, look to the right of you. I'm just saying.
In closing, I'm disappointed in you, man. That's my man. In closing, I'm just disappointed.
And I'm not disappointed in you.
You are, and I took.
I'm not disappointed in you.
Well, I'm disappointed in you. I took the video down though.
Right,
I have no ego and pride, and nobody can coerce me into feeling a way about somebody.
I respect that, and I just want you to know I'm not disappointed at all.
I just like I spoke. I like you, but
yeah,
that's what it is. And it got a little crazy. I want to make it clear because we got to hit a beep because this started talking about hey, you low key threatening. Like, what you talking? Like,
no, this is what you do.
I had to analyze what you threatened me.
Stop it right now. Stop right now.
I had to analyze it when you went outside. Like, why y'all going to threats?
No,
stop threatening me.
This is what you do. This is what you do.
Tell me.
You get in an argument and then you do this. You start puffing up, getting louder, like you going to intimidate and like you the only that can fight. And so when it looks.
All right, so now let's play a game. Do you think Flip told Mark to suck his dick? Do you think Flip slapped Mark? Do you think Flip showed up to Mark's job? Or did he continue the podcast because he's a pussy and it's not Danny from the stop? You guessed it. He went back to podcasting because he knew he didn't want no problems with Mark. Y'all remember when Cameron's son flipped? Let's talk about it. Cameron was on his show. He was talking about how when he was young, they ended up with some ladies of the night and they did their thing. And Mel tried to make it look like they did something illegal with young women. Everybody on the podcast had a problem with that because that's not what Cam said. And it was like just a nasty misrepresentation of the story that Cameron told. Cam was pissed. And nobody in the room was defending Melissa Ford. So it's not like they stood with her. But what Queenzflip tweeted was, hey, women, are y'all going to defend Mel? Cam took offense to that because he's like, defend Mel for what? She lied on me. And she tried to call me some type of degenerate. So what are you talking about? Defend her. So Cam made a video going off on both of them. And we all know, Cam wore the pants with Melissa Ford's face on it and her mouth is the crotch. Like, we all know how that went. I've talked about it before. But outside of that, yeah, he went off on Queenzflip too. Because he interpreted Queenzflip's tweet like, how you going to try to defend her when she just called me all kinds of perverts? So he addressed Mel, and he took shots at Queenzflip.
It shows me Queenzflip talking about nobody going to help Melissa Ford, none of you podcasters. Help her do what? Disrespect me more? Act like I'm coming for them. Every action has a reaction. You can't do what you do and just then when somebody reacts to what you do, you be like, oh, why they reacting like that? Lonely Queenzflip, yo, that's some bullshit. And I'm going to leave that at that, my nigga. I'm going to leave that at that. You know all the I did for you and helped you and gave you advice and let you wear my clothes and drive my cars and wear my jewelry and come to my offices and everything else. Leave me the f alone, bro. I left you alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, bro.
And he basically sunned him. He was like, man, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be on. You was acting like my little man. I used to take you under my wing and let you wear my clothes and let you be in my videos and, let you do skits. And I really did that because, I rock with your family and everything. But let's not forget who you are. Before you was washed up and all that, before Joe Budden picked you up, it was me that supported you. So how dare you take her side, and she wrong as hell too. Basically, Cam made Queenzflip look like a 38-year-old Make-A-Wish kid. Hey, guess how Flip responded to that? He wrote a poem.
In no way in the world you think that I'll disrespect you. You looked out and did 4 videos with me. 2 of the videos I made 50,000 off both put together. 1 of the videos I made 20,000. You didn't ask for nothing. Why would I diss you, Cam? It ain't me, it's you. Why would I diss you when you show my son love? Why would I diss you when you put me onto a bigger bag, Cam? It ain't me, it's you. You always jump out the window. And why? Because of that favor that you asked me to do was crazy. To think that I would do that, the fact that you even asked me to do that was crazy to me. But I know you was going through some things I understood, and I love you, killer. You my man, I love you. You're the first person in this industry to put me onto a bag. Why would I play you? It ain't me, it's you.
He wrote a poem thanking Cameron for all he's done and copping pleas. Guess what Flip didn't do? He didn't slap Cam. He didn't spit on Cam. And he didn't tell Cam to suck his d. And that's my issue with Flip. See, he could get critiqued, but if he's critiqued by anybody who's threatening, he tucks tail. But let it be Danny from the stop, somebody that he know he can bully. Oh, now he want to, I don't respect it. If you're going to be tough all the time. You're going to be a wolf all the time. I think that's pussy. But what do I know? I'm just an everyday nobody. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'm out.